So they'll be able to hear us.
They'll be able to, yeah, they'll be able to hear you.
Okay, that'll work.
Video.
It'll be okay if we start a minute late.
Like your shirt, Ron.
Well, let's hope we get some football before anything here, so I'd like to
No,
see.
no kidding.
It was great to see Iowa State win.
Is there something
Yes,
I can
it
turn
was.
the speakers up?
Yes, great win.
I didn't know there for like going into the fourth quarter.
Yeah, I didn't realize it'd been 60 years since they had won against Oklahoma or something
And
like
that
that.
was at home against them.
Yeah, at home, yeah.
Yeah. Worse yet.
Can't hear.
I can't hear
Hey,
them.
George, the bad thing about it is
Oh,
you and I
sorry.
may have been, and Don may have been the only three people alive at that time.
That's about right. Yes.
Hey, you guys talking high school football?
Yeah, yeah.
Or John.
Good enough, I guess.
It's okay, Purdue's still terrible, so there's that.
No, Purdue's gonna be tough for Iowa. We got them right out of the chute.
And so I won't win a game yet.
No, we don't play until the 24th of October. I think it's Purdue away. And
We are-
Purdue's wide receiver.
We are
He's
live.
coming
We're
back
just trying to
this
work
year.
out some
He
technical
has been
difficulties back
tremendous
here at
player.
City Hall before we begin the meeting.
Giving us fits for 2 years.
I don't know if they can hear you.
That wide receiver is pretty spectacular.
Yeah, the little stinker caught one right in front of me 2 years ago when we were at Purdue watching the game.
That's such a nice stadium.
It is. Yeah, the whole campus is nice.
Yes.
When we were there, they had a police car, which was a souped-up little Mustang, was one of the city police cars.
Yes. Most of the city police cars are actually Mustangs. Purdue makes a lot of money for that town.
There we
A little
go.
louder.
All the football teams make a lot of money for their communities and their school especially.
You guys could talk about football, but when you're by Purdue, there's one of the best Stuckies ever on I-65. If you guys remember those.
Yep.
I don't think it's there anymore, John.
Will we post
I don't
it back
think they're
later?
anywhere.
Yeah, I will, we're recording it here,
Okay.
so I'll post it on
Okay.
Facebook and YouTube
All
later.
right. Are we ready?
Hey, Brian and Kevin, are you guys ready?
Yep. Can you hear me?
I think we have everyone.
Can you hear me now?
hear me now?
Okay. Would you please join me in the Pledge of Allegiance? I pledge allegiance
To the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands,
One nation under God, indivisible, liberty and
Justice for all.
Okay, a couple of housekeeping items before we get into the meeting. So due to illness and COVID and other random things, we decided to go back to for this meeting anyway, to a digital format just to keep everybody as healthy as possible. We are having a difficulty with our Facebook Live feed. It will be on Facebook Live, but we'll post the recording of the meeting up after we're done. But we are recording live right now. So with that, we will move to roll call.
Nelson? Orison?
Here.
Larson?
Here.
Wunschel?
Here.
Hanson?
Here.
Reed?
Here.
Moriarty?
Here.
Okay, thank you. And when we get into voting, similar to last time when we go virtual on a roll call vote, Teresa will actually say the name of the elected official, wait for your response, go to the next elected official, and so on and so forth. So with that, we will move to item 3, the consent agenda. 3A is to approve the city council minutes of September 21, 2020. B, licenses, to approve Class C liquor license with Sunday sales for Taqueria El Tepito, sorry if I didn't say that correctly. Class C liquor license with Sunday sales for Poor Judgment, and Class E liquor license, Class B wine permit, Class C beer permit, and Sunday sales for Dino's number 40 at 1001 South Grand Avenue, all subject to final approval by the Iowa Alcoholic Beverages Division. C is a motion to approve sidewalk construction and assessment easements for Michael and Sherry Prang of 700 3rd Avenue East and John and Gina Musicman of 906 2nd Avenue Southeast. D is a motion to approve the federal subsidy service agreement with UMB Bank, N.A. E is a resolution authorizing permanent transfer of funds of budgeted transfers for the month ending September 30, 2020. This concludes the consent agenda.
I'll motion to approve it.
First by Donovan, second by George, I believe it was. Questions or discussion on these items? Hearing none, we will have a roll call vote.
Orison,
Aye.
Larson,
Aye.
Wunschel,
Aye.
Hanson,
Aye.
Reed,
Aye.
Moriarty.
Aye.
Thank you. Item 4 is a public hearing on the proposed sale and transfer of city property, former railroad right-of-way located in the northwest quarter of the southwest quarter of Section 6, Township 96 North, Range 36 West of the 5th Prime Meridian, Clay County, Iowa, consisting of approximately 20,388 and a half square feet. I declare the public hearing open. Have we received any written comments in favor?
We have none.
Are there any oral comments in favor? Are there any written comments against?
We have none.
Are there any oral comments against? I declare the public hearing closed. Item 4B is a resolution approving and authorizing the sale and transfer of city property, former railroad right-of-way located in the northwest quarter of the southwest quarter of Section 6, Township 96 North, Range 36 West of the 5th Prime Meridian, Clay County, Iowa, consisting of approximately 20,388 and a half square feet, to Shoneman Brothers Company.
I'll introduce that resolution.
First by Bill, second by Ron. Any discussion? We will have a roll call vote.
Orison,
Aye.
Larson,
Aye.
Wunschel,
Aye.
Hanson,
Aye.
Reed,
Aye.
Moriarty.
Aye.
Thank you. I'd like to extend a congratulations and thank you to Shoneman Brothers for their continued investment in their new plans here in town, so thank you. Item 5, old business. 5A is a motion to approve a 3-year agreement for ESRI GIS software, maintenance agreement shared by the city, county, and SMU. This was an item that was tabled at the September 21st council meeting.
I'll make the motion.
First by Donovan.
I'll second.
I'll second.
Second by George. Any discussion or question on this? All right, hearing none, we will, let's see, it's a motion. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
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 All those opposed? Motion carries. Item 5B is a resolution approving and accepting the final plat of Westfield by IGL, first edition, and approve the development agreement. This was also tabled on 9/21/2020, and this has been discussed and recommended by the Economic Development Committee.
I'll make that motion.
First by Tracy,
Second.
second by Donovan. Discussion or questions on this?
Yeah, can somebody clarify some of that? Is that 5 new buildings going up soon? Are they getting additional ground? What's the deal with that?
This is Don. My understanding is they plan to build 10 homes in the first stage. The proprietor of this plat owns additional ground, but I don't have any idea of what the plan, long range for that might be.
I drove by the property just the other day. They're setting up forms and stuff to set pads, so I believe they're pretty well starting.
Mayor, you might not be able to see, but Kelly with IGL is on if she'd like to answer.
You're muted, Kelly.
Yep, he's gone.
I can speak for Kelly briefly. IGL is planning to construct 10 homes in this first phase, just like Don said. We do have 10 homes staked out there, and they are setting up forms to pour the slabs for those homes. So that's what's happening out there right now.
Ross, what are the lots that they're starting on?
I believe we have homes staked on lots 6 through 15.
Okay, kind of around that first corner.
Yeah, so it'll be on the plat. It's on West 3rd Street up into the cul-de-sac, and so it'll be on the north and south side of the road.
All right, thank you.
Ross, a question, Ron Hansen here. The sewer and the street, are they just gonna put the slabs on first, or are they gonna work on the street and sewer before they finish the houses there?
I think they're planning to get started with the sewer and water work this fall, actually shortly. We're getting permits submitted, and we are in the process of approving materials and shop drawings. Those actually went in on Friday. So they're pushing forward, and we'll get construction underway here shortly.
Is there a plan to sell the 10 houses first and then continue to build, or are they going to just continue on and build all of them?
Is Kelly maybe connected now? I would say it was part of their agreement was to have 10 homes built this year yet, and next spring they will continue to build homes, is my understanding. So
Thank you, Ross.
Sorry about that. I'm back. So yeah, we are going to start 10 homes. We have 10 homes staked or in the process of being staked. And we will, depending on sales, we will continue on with 10 to 20 homes next year anticipated.
So it will depend on sales then.
It will. I mean, it's a considerable investment that we're making, so we don't want to borrow all of our money. We'd like to use some cash from sales to continue on progress with the construction of new homes.
Any other questions or discussion?
All right, hearing none, we will have a roll call vote.
Orison,
Aye.
Larson,
Aye.
Wunschel,
Aye.
Hanson,
Aye.
Reed,
Aye.
Moriarty.
Aye.
All right,
Thank you.
Again, extending an appreciation to IGL for their investment in Spencer. Not too often on agendas do we have a residential and a commercial expansion and project approvals. So thank you for your investment in our community. Item 6, new business.
Thank
Yep.
for your support.
Oh, you bet. 6A is a motion to approve change order number one for the 2024th Avenue Southwest Trail Project for an increase of
$4,041.25 to include an additional sidewalk crossing.
I'll make a motion on that.
First by Ron,
I'll second.
second by George. Discussion or questions on this?
Mayor, hopefully everyone can hear me. This is Brian.
Just a second, Brian. Can everyone hear Brian?
No, not very well.
No? You want to come down here, Brian?
Just wanted to let you know, in our memo we sent out, after Jared and I had talked, we thought that there was extra grant money to pay for it. It turns out the DOT denied that extension of adding it under the grant, so this would be city funded. We do have enough within the current project funds to pay for it out of our portion. We had, I think, about 30,000 over budgeted. The bids came in very favorable. So, unlike we said in the cover sheet, this would be, the 4,000 would be city funds, but we do have it within the project to cover the cost of doing this work.
Yeah, and Ross and I had talked about this crossing kind of when they first got started, and thought it would be a good idea to add a crossing there at the Gulfview condominium to get those folks onto the trail in that spot. So that's where it's going.
That isn't classified as a safe route to school now, is it? Since the bike path could be a route part of that?
I'm not sure how it ties into a safe routes to school trail. I'm not sure how they specifically classify each safe route.
Well, I'm curious if there is some grant funding. I know we're talking $4,000 and that we got the money there, but if there's some other grant stuff too, then why not keep that into our pocket and see if that would fall under the safe route to school grant or anything like that, or adding sidewalk or.
Everything we talked about safe routes to school, that grant from a statewide perspective is essentially gone. When we talk about safe routes, it's local money, meaning the city and the school have put funds together we just kept the safe routes to school moniker when we talked about it, but all the funding that we talk about, all these safe routes, is all local. It comes both from the city and the school district, put 30,000 each into the pot each year to keep funding those projects.
Any other questions? All right, that looks better. Any other questions on this topic? Hearing none. Let's see. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
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 All those opposed? Motion carries. Item 6B is a motion to approve urban renewal agreement with Clay County in order to add 5 county buildings within the boundaries of the city to the county's urban renewal area.
I'll introduce that.
First by Bill.
Second.
Second by Donovan. Discussion on this item?
Yeah, fill me in on where these 5 buildings are going. I mean, I looked at the memo, but I didn't see an address area or.
Are you taking this one, Brian?
It's the courthouse, the admin building, the government services building, which is, I believe, where Northwest Planning and Unemployment, where Workforce Development is located. Also the attorney's office, jail, and sheriff's department, and County Services Building, Government Services Center, Courthouse, Admin Building, and County Attorney, Sheriff's Department, and Jail are the ones located within the city. Yeah, so it's almost all this, as if you can see where I'm pointing to. It's this block right around the courthouse. They're those government buildings that are located there.
Okay, so these are existing buildings. They're not new buildings. They're not new ground. So we're just renewing their existence within city limits.
Yeah, so what's happening is this, under state code, for a county to include county-owned property within a city, within a county urban renewal district, they have to get the blessing of the council. The council doesn't have to give their blessing, but what they're doing is they're adding these 5 buildings for, I believe, future purpose of using tax increment revenues to make improvements to them. I'm not under any impression that they have or imminent projects to do it, but they're giving themselves that flexibility to do it. I had a call with Dorsey and Whitney, which is our bonding attorneys and economic development attorneys this afternoon, and they said they're seeing these more and more where, you know, all it is taking the parcel that the county owns and taking it and putting it into a county urban renewal area. There really would be no negative impact to our operations or our future to do things. The only time where it may is if the county would ever end up deciding to sell a building to put it back on the tax rolls, then it would be outside of our tax or TIF district. But with the buildings in question, I don't see that the county in the near future or even long-term future is ever going to dispose of those to a private entity for development. But that would be the one option. But it's all to give the county flexibility to potentially make improvements to those using TIF revenues.
Ryan, could they be using that to TIF the improvements that they're going to make to that Northwest Bank building?
Is that the address of one of them, Bill?
Well, is it 505 or something?
505 2nd Avenue West.
Yep.
That could be that one. That's the only one I wasn't quite sure what it is, but yeah.
Yeah, that, for those of us who've been around a long time, it's the old Home Federal building, but it was the west building of Northwest Bank, so.
And I
believe
believe
I know the county's going to do
revenue coming in uses the wind turbines out in the county as their TIF revenue source. It's just they're putting these 5 properties in their urban renewal district.
I think they're making significant improvements to that building before they move in, so.
Isn't that where the county attorney's coming back into?
Yes. Last I heard, that was the plan.
Okay. Thanks for the clarification.
All right, any other further discussion on this item? Hearing none. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
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 All those opposed? Motion carries. Item 6C is a resolution de-obligating funds for property number 9
as part of the Spencer Substandard Housing Rehabilitation Program.
I'll make a motion.
First by
First
Tracy,
by Tracy,
I'll second that.
second by
second by
Ron.
Ron.
Questions or
Questions or
discussion
discussion
on
on
this?
this?
One question, how is our budget coming along with these projects and you know what we had allotted for the year? Is this the last projects for the year?
Brian has
Brian has
stepped out. I don't know if anybody else can grab that one. Oh, he's back.
He's back.
We can check with Northwest Iowa Planning. I don't know that they have another round ready for us. But we didn't set
How much
the
budget
budget
is
on
left
a
on the substandard
per
housing
year.
program?
It was, here's the lump sum of money, and we're just gonna continue to move projects through as they come up. They typically come to us to do another round when there's 4 to 6 homes that have applied.
Brian just
Brian
said
just said
he will send an email out to everyone with
everyone
a
with
detailed accounting of what's left in the fund.
Thank you.
Yep.
Yep.
Any other questions
Any
or
other questions or
discussion?
discussion?
All right, we
All
will
right,
have a
we'll
roll call vote.
Orison,
Aye.
Larson,
Aye.
Wunschel,
Aye.
Hanson,
Aye.
Reed,
Aye.
Moriarty.
Aye.
Thank you. Item 6D is a motion to approve a service agreement with American Business Phones for a service plan for the City of Spencer telephone system.
I'll make a motion.
First by Donovan,
I'll second.
second by George. Discussion on this? All right, hearing none. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
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 Let's do that again. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
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 Okay, all those opposed? Motion carries. Item 6E, questionable item,
Good.
is a resolution appointing Carrie A. Self as Assistant City Attorney for the City of Spencer, Iowa.
I'll introduce that.
I'll
First by
second.
Bill,
I'll second.
second by George. Discussion or questions about this?
Can she introduce herself?
Sure. I'm Carrie Self. I'm originally from Everly. Some of you guys know my parents. Moved back here about 2 years ago. Been working with Don since then. My background is local government law. I've practiced in Iowa, Nebraska, North Carolina, and Minnesota. We've kind of taken the cross-country tour here before moving back home. I have 2 kids, a 1-year-old and a 3-year-old, who are in the background if you can hear them. But happy to be working with Don, happy to be back working with the city as well. So.
Grandpa and Grandma are happy.
Grandpa and Grandma are very happy.
Thank you, Carrie. Any other questions? Comments on this? Hearing none, we will call the vote.
Orison,
Aye.
Larson,
Aye.
Wunschel,
Aye.
Hanson,
Aye.
Reed,
Aye.
Moriarty.
Aye.
Thank you. Thank you. Item 7, Department Head Report. Oh, congratulations, Carrie. Welcome aboard. We'll send you the orientation binder. Maybe Don has the new one. I'm not sure.
Thank you.
Item 7, Department Head Reports. Planning Department. Amanda?
Mayor, I don't have much of a report for the planning department. I know Anna has been very busy with inspections over the last 2 weeks. That's my report. She did send out the building excuse me, permit information late last week on monthly permits.
Thank you. Any questions for Amanda? Item B is library. Mandy?
Hello. So we are still open via appointment. I think more and more people are starting to discover that as we start getting busier. So that's exciting. And we're still kind of working on that platform. We are still doing the craft kits through summer reading. We're so popular with both the kids and the adults that we are continuing that. We're doing 2 per month. So the kids this month right now, it is a Halloween silhouette painting. You get absolutely everything you need to make that project. And you can call us to pick it up curbside or make an appointment to come in and get it. We also now have book subscription boxes for readers through 1st through 5th grade. So you get 3 library books and activities, a treat, and some keepsakes. So they're kind of like a subscription box for kids. Those are free. You can call us to sign your kid up for those. We are doing a costume contest with the Spencer Community Theater on the 24th of October from 2 to 4. So we'll be there and we'll have a prize wheel so you can win prizes. And we're also giving away kits to make edible haunted houses. So you can make a little gingerbread type haunted house. For the teens, the activity kit this month is special effects makeup. So if anybody has a teen that doesn't know what they want to be for Halloween yet, we have a free kit that they can make like gross sores and zombie makeup and stuff like that. And we also have teen book boxes for them. So the same deal, they get 3 books and they get surprises in the box. And then we have 2 kits for the adults right now. It's the sun print kit. So you can make a pretty print for your wall using the sun. And that's available until October 17th. And then the next one from the 19th to the 31st is a marbleized ring dish that you can make. Then on October 15th at 6 o'clock, there is a Zoom presentation called Heroism and Humanity Behind German Lines. And that's with the author of World War I Crusaders, Jeffrey B. Miller. So it's the humanitarian efforts with the CRB during World War I. So that'll be a really good program. And we'll just, the link is available in our newsletter and online, so you can join in on that. It's obviously free. October is Adopt a Shelter Dog Month. So if you want any books about shelter dogs, we've got plenty of those. We're kind of suckers for shelter animals. Then the last thing that I want to talk about is we got a really nice letter from a family that I wanted to just read a little part of it that shows, especially right now, how the library is always important and also right now why it's important. So they have 7 children ages 3 to 12, this family does. It's great to have the option to use the free resources at the library. We use the movies at the library regularly for Saturday date night for my husband and I, and family movie night since we don't have cable. Although we have a very large in-home library, we still go to the library for books we don't necessarily want to buy, or for books that go along with what we are doing with the kids in homeschool. Our family really enjoyed doing the arts and crafts the library had available. The diversity of the crafts was excellent, and you could tell a lot of thought was put into it. The different age brackets was a good idea and well done. Our thanks to the library staff for being kind and helpful. So I just wanted to kind of give a shout out to all of our patrons who have still come to visit us during this and before and after. And that's all I have. If you have any questions.
Thank you. Any questions for Mandy? All right. Thanks for all you do. C, Fire Department, Chief Kanyan.
Good evening, Council, Mayor, and Manager. The month of September saw us with 76 runs for service. They included 38 runs for EMS, ranging from ETOH to abuse to seizures to ATV accidents. Also, we had 15 fire runs that included some fuel spills, a couple of motor vehicle accidents, as well as an illegal burn on the south side of town. Our in-house ambulance was also saw a couple of overdose victims, as well as a detox victim and a seizure. Something that we got to do special this year was live Mark White's life every day. We went to the drag races at the airport. And if you haven't done it, I think it's a great thing. It's a great thing for our community. It was really neat to be a part of that. We also went ahead and with our COVID precautions, we did a virtual truck drive-by for Season Center. So the families could drive by and experience what a fire truck looks like. And, you know, just one more thing. Also, Clay County races. Our training included some live roll-up training out at the drill grounds. And we finished off with a liquid propane class. And that's what I have for you. Any questions? All right. Thanks a lot. Have a great, safe day.
Thank you, Chief. Police Department, Chief Warburton.
Good evening. The Spencer Police Department responded to 1,078 calls for service the month of September and performed 50 arrests. All supervision attended the ICMA online seminars this month. This was a unique way of getting some beneficial training to all supervision from across the United States. So thank you to Amanda for getting that out to us. Attended the Pipeline Association training as well this last week. Midwest Radar did their annual certification route here through Spencer, and they certified all the radars and all the patrol cars as well as the speed trailer. One of the patrol cars from last year was just picked up here last week, and they will start building that patrol car for us. So that should be done and up and running here hopefully within a week or two. And lastly, the Iowa Great Lakes Hiring Co-op met today to approve applicants for the testing coming up here on the 16th and 17th. And we only had 16 applicants turn in their applications here for the hiring co-op, which is down over 50% of what it typically is. So political climate, I'm sure, has something to do with it. So rather than that, that's all I have for you. If there's any questions. Thank you.
Thank you, Chief. Public Works, Mark.
Good evening. Believe it or not, as we move into October, it's time to get ready for snow season. We've started that in September. Securing supplies of the procurement of the sand, chloride, and salt has been done. We've already received at least one load of road salt into the facility already. I'd like to remind the public we do have a job opening at the street division. So if you're interested and have a CDL, you may consider putting in an application. Please find that application on the city website. Also, solid waste operations have been pretty busy. Bill had mentioned it earlier with the traffic at the tree site. Public's been doing a nice job helping us police that, so keep up the good work. Public Works, it's just always crunch time at the end of the construction season. It happens every year. We try to squeeze in additional projects, and in the middle of that, you're planning for next year's projects. So with that, that's all I have, unless somebody has a question or comment.
All right, thank you, Mark. Park and Recreation, Jared.
Good evening. So just like Public Works, we're starting to move into kind of a winter phase, getting our irrigation, the aquatic center, any public bathrooms, restrooms that don't typically get used. We're starting to winterize those, starting to do some fall application for some herbicides into our and fertilizer into our green spaces as well. So just trying to get ready for winter as well. So the next thing is that REAP grant that we had applied for did not get funded for that canoe access project out at Stolly's. So we'll just keep trying to work on that and seek future funding for that project, as well as some other projects. And then lastly, I'd like to thank the Historic Preservation for cleaning up some headstones out at Riverside Cemetery. There was a really good turnout for that. I'd like to thank that Riverside, or the Historic Preservation Board and Commission, and then Robin as well for all our hard work and getting that lined up. So it was a really good turnout and a really good program if you weren't able to attend. So thank you. Any questions?
All right, thank you, Jared. Golf course, I believe Brian is still, I know the golf course board meeting was going somewhat long tonight. I don't believe he's on the call. Are you on the call, Brian?
Yes, I am.
Well, hey, there he is.
We did have a late golf course board meeting, but we just adjourned here a few minutes ago. So I guess with the golf course, we're moving into our fall time of the year where things are starting to slow down a little bit. I'd like to just make a correction on the email I sent out yesterday. We had 120 people, not 12. So it was a little bit busier than 12 people yesterday at our tournament. Our main focus right now has been our irrigation system with the wet well. We're still trying to get our pond drawn down. as far as we can to access the line going into the pump house so we can install a new screen. We will be doing some fertilization of the fairways and tees later this week. And we will also be starting to move into some of our tree removal on the golf course. I'd say we have about 7 or 8 more spruce trees that have perished this season, and we'll start cutting those down here pretty soon. Other than that, we're just going to enjoy the sunshine this week, and hopefully we got quite a few golfers. If there's any questions, I'd happily entertain them.
Brian, do you think you're going to see more trees perish over the winter because of the dry conditions?
We have lost some smaller trees that have been planted in the last couple of years that are obviously in non-irrigated areas. So I'd say that we've lost a few of those. I don't know what the winter months will bring for everything. With the spruce trees, it's just kind of a natural thing that's happening all across the state of Iowa. They're not native to our land, so they're kind of reaching that point where pests and other diseases are compromising them. And we've been losing about 8 to 10 a year, I think, for quite a while now.
All right, thank you, Brian.
Thank you.
Item 7H, City Attorney, Don.
Thank you, Mayor. Good evening again. It was a fairly normal month. 5 items that took the most time and attention from Carrie and I. We're working with one of the owners of several properties in the city that have been declared substandard. He's making progress, perhaps not as quickly as we'd like, but is making progress, so we're on that. We spent time, of course, completing the Westfield addition that you approved tonight. Carrie had a good deal of work in Magistrates Court. You may have heard or learned that our magistrate has resigned, and a new magistrate will be taking over mid-month, so we'll have some adjustments to make there. Spent some time on the personnel HR issues and some time on the property sale assurance. That's all I have unless there are questions.
All right, thank you, Don. Item 8, Engineers Report, Ross.
Good evening, everyone. Quick update tonight on the West 4th Street Storm Sewer Project. Vanderpool Excavating has completed the trunk storm sewer main and the water main on West 4th Street. They continue to work on some sanitary sewer improvements and also the laterals and intakes in the West 4th Street and 2nd Avenue West intersection. There's also a small extension to go north along 2nd Avenue West, north of West 4th Street. DeLoss Construction plans to be on site later in the week or early next week to start the concrete patching on that project. So we look for that street to be closed for a couple weeks at the minimum yet. On the 4th Avenue Southwest Trail project, Tower Construction has completed the concrete work and the backfilling. SMU installed a new conduit last week for new streetlight wire and streetlights. And so work on that project still includes the signing and the seating, and that project will be wrapped up. So that's all I had, unless there's any questions. Oh, maybe I should add too, MLS did start work on the 4th Street Southeast sidewalk project. They're currently working along 4th Avenue Southeast at the 4th Street and 8th Street intersections. So you'll see continued work there for several more weeks.
Thank you, Ross. Any questions for Ross? Okay, item 9, City Manager's Report, Amanda.
Thanks, Mayor. A few things. Department heads have wrapped up or are in the process of wrapping up the first stage of our CIP process. So Brian will take some time to input those, and then we'll start meeting with department heads to talk about upcoming projects and their kind of wish list for their departments over the next 5 years. We've started I've started working with the conveners from our strategic planning session on next steps to move, excuse me, those 4 items that we landed on, to move those forward. So you'll see some information coming out in the next couple of weeks about different meetings that are planned or are happening. Design guidelines. Berglund and Cram were in town 2 weeks ago and hosted a public meeting in council chambers that was very well attended, and did a good job of laying the groundwork of what design guidelines are, how they plan to obtain information and provide information back out to the community. It was a good mix of building owners and interested community members. So I appreciate the work that Historic Preservation and the Planning Department put into that. I did send an email today to the Personnel Committee, trying to set a date and time to meet with Charlie to talk about the pay plan. I totally lost the word I was appeals, excuse me, to talk about the pay plan appeals. Please watch your email for some additional dates. Those 2 dates and times didn't work for Charlie. The Spencer Economic Development Corporation will hold its first annual meeting on October 20th out at the Muni Clubhouse at noon. So we'll make sure that you all get an invitation to that. And then lastly, as Warby said, city leadership had an opportunity 2 weeks ago to participate in the ICMA conference. Typically it's held in person somewhere, and this year it was virtual, like most of our learning opportunities. And so that provided us an opportunity for more people to participate. Some great sessions on leadership development, community development. So I appreciate everyone who took the time to sit in on those sessions. And with that, I'd be happy to answer any questions you might have. Excuse me.
Amanda, could you, I don't want you to talk too much. What are the next steps once these guidelines have been kind of finalized by them? I think it's next year sometime.
It's, the final step is council acceptance of the guidelines and a decision if there's any type of incentivization that is going to go with them. So are they strictly just guidelines and do with it what you will, or hey, we're going to incentivize certain pieces of this to encourage conformity with it? It's quite a process. I wasn't quite sure how long it's going to take, but there's several months of information gathering and more opportunities for public input down the road.
Okay. The only other comment I have, I was very impressed with the presentation that you gave on your acceptance of your award.
Oh, thanks.
Very, very professionally done.
Thanks.
Thank you, Amanda. Any other questions for Amanda? All right. Item 10, Mayor's Report. I have just a few items. Appreciate everyone's virtual patience as we virtually meet. It was decided that we go to this format. I'd just like the citizens to know that our number one goal is to try to keep everybody healthy in our organization as possible. And so that's why we took the step tonight. Hopefully at the next meeting, we'll be back in person. Lights, I'd like to thank the council a couple years ago when we made the decision to move forward and get the premium light package, if you will, downtown. My wife's a breast cancer survivor, so we did the breast cancer walk last week, and it was neat to see as the lights came on, they were lit up pink, and it gives the town just an opportunity to celebrate different things. I know on Friday nights they've been purple and gold, and so just thank you for your commitment to that. Poppy sales, as you see here, I'm wearing a poppy. Before the meeting, we took a picture with the VFW and the VFW auxiliary, and they will be Friday between 8:30 a.m. to noon. The VFW and the auxiliary and post will be collecting funds and selling poppies for the Poppies Relief Fund. 100% of that money stays in Clay County, and they will be at the following locations: Hy-Vee, Fairway, the post office, Sisters Cafe, Bumgars, and Walmart. So this Friday you can get your poppy. vote. I would encourage everyone to vote. Today, I believe voting opened up at the courthouse. If you want to vote there, you can also vote absentee or in person. I would relay what the state and the county has suggested to decrease the number of interactions on voting day. If you want to vote early, that would be greatly appreciated. COVID update on our call today. We've noticed numbers are increasing a little bit on positivity rate, been jumping around a little bit, but the interesting statistic to share back out with the public is regionally in Northwest Iowa, hospitalizations due to COVID are increasing, but we're not seeing the demand on ventilators rising with the hospitalizations. So that's good news in the sense that the cases are being hospitalized apparently are not as severe and needing the ventilators to get treatment. So I just want you to know we're keeping an eye on that and continuing to make any adjustments that need to be made. Trick-or-treating, I wore my Great Pumpkin mask tonight. We are trick-or-treating in town, and the hours will be as normal, 5 o'clock to 8 o'clock. Just a reminder to those families who do participate in trick-or-treating, when it gets dark, please take the appropriate steps for safety. Bring some lights with you, or the glow-in-the-dark bracelets, or just something so your kids are visible when they're out and about. And if somebody is not comfortable with trick-or-treating, trick-or-treaters coming up to your door, you always have the option to not turn your light on. The last thing I would talk about is we're all very jaded by, I think, COVID-19. It's been a longer journey than any of us thought when we first sat down to visit about it. I just want to touch on masks really quick. My family had a situation up at the Nutty Bar stand the last day it was open. I had already got my Nutty Bar and left, and of course they have to wear masks in there. My daughter was working, and I was outside the restaurant, but my son and wife were still in, and my wife is a breast cancer survivor, and she has multiple sclerosis, and so, you know, we wear the masks based on the CDC recommendation to try to take every precaution necessary to put us in the best position possible. And there was another man in there not wearing a mask, and proceeded to, you know, just kind of bully and berate, you know, my wife for wearing a mask. Why are you wearing a mask? It was this whole political conversation about masks. And I would just really encourage the public, you know, if people wear masks, if they don't wear masks, it's their choice. It's their personal choice. And, you know, we can still all treat each other the same as we always used to, whether we have a mask on or not. So just please be respectful of whatever people's personal decisions and personal stances are, and we're going to get through this. It's a long haul, and hopefully we're on close to the last lap, closer than we were last month, but we shall see as this thing unfolds. So with that, I would entertain any questions. All right, hearing none, I would move to item 11, which is council and committee reports.
We do have our regularly scheduled council meeting for Monday, October 19th at 6:30 p.m. We will have Jenna Bidwell with us. Jenna is part of Charlie Carlson's firm, and she's doing the work with us on the employee development program. She'll spend the afternoon with department heads kicking off that process, and she'll be giving you an update on where we're at.
Thank you, Amanda. Item 12, I entertain a motion to approve the bills and claims.
So move.
First by Bill.
Second.
Second by Tracy. Any discussion? All those in favor signify by saying aye.
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 All those opposed? Motion carries. Item 13, other business opportunity to address the council. Would anyone like the platform? Jim? Hello, Jim. Thought maybe he had some wise words of wisdom there, Ross. No? Okay.
No, Jim doesn't have any wise words tonight.
Okay. Anyone else? Well, welcome aboard, Carrie. I would entertain a motion to adjourn.
I'll make it.
First by Donovan.
No one else wants to
I'll
leave?
second it.
Everyone wants to stay.
Good Lord.
Any discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Meeting adjourned.